Yeah.
Oh, we got to center that. There we go.
Get
Chat up.
Get the channel up. Yeah.
All right. While you do that, I'm gonna get my phone. It has all my notes on it. Countdown's over. Probably you on there. We got one person on, so I think it's you.
Yep. And I think a few others are gonna join.
Oh, here we go. I think we got two. My eyesight's really that bad, but
Yeah, we got 2.
oh yeah,
We got 3.
3. Ooh, ooh.
I know.
Look at that.
Some people are slacking on finals.
Seriously. Yeah, people. You guys are still in high school or college.
I'm in middle school. They got
For middle school, yeah. I would not advise you to join this tonight, but I mean, I'm not gonna push you away either. Oh, we got hearts. Who is that sending us hearts? Oh, we got 4.
Yeah. So we got Cody Bricks. He said today was a good day. Yes, it was.
Today was a great day, and I'm just catching up.
Yeah, he just found out about some of the news like 30 seconds ago. So.
Yeah, this is really big, guys.
Reagan and I are watching Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, so that might not be very attentive. You should tell her to watch this with us.
We're gonna go over the more important stuff, and you guys can always watch that later.
Yeah, of course.
I got my Ray figure, my SH Figure Arts.
I might be designing a lightsaber.
A yellow lightsaber.
Lightsaber.
I had to bring her over, and plus it works good as a prop too.
Exactly. And then here's my droid that I made at Galaxy's Edge. Unintentionally Ohio State Buckeyes theme, and
it matches your attire today too.
Exactly.
So it looks perfect.
If I have the red shirt available, I'll be wearing the red shirt every time.
Yep.
So we had quite a bit of news drop.
Oh man.
Yeah, so we went ahead and we got not just Star Wars, but a bunch of Disney drops. We had some Marvel. We have like a Buzz Lightyear one that's dropping.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there's a bunch. It's animated. Chris Evans is going to be voicing Buzz Lightyear.
So, oh my gosh, my daughter is in love with Buzz Lightyear. She is going to die. She's only 2. She's just older than 2, but she loves Buzz. Everything in her world is like Buzz and horses. She just loves them.
So I don't know at this point. It's not Tim Allen though, but there was another animated series a long time ago called like Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
I remember that.
And that wasn't done by Tim Allen either. So I'm not going to knock it. We also have some both live action and animated Star Wars productions.
Bad Batch.
Most notably Ahsoka, Bad Batch, and the one I'm personally most excited for, Kenobi, which they said that Hayden Christensen is returning as Darth Vader and Ewan McGregor is returning as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm just hoping we can get the whole trio back and we get Natalie Portman back as Padme. Get the cringy lines back in. But something that wasn't announced was Darth Blaze, awesome news today. Yeah, great news, and it just came out, so we had to read through this quickly. Something that wasn't announced was Boba Fett, which there was a large speculation there would be Boba Fett. So I'll get your thoughts in a second. But the reason that a lot of this news came out today is because it was like a shareholder meeting, or at least that's.
It felt like a D23 too.
It did,
kind of, which was nice because we didn't really get an official D23 with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything else, COVID's taken away from our life, but thankfully we got this, and this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm watching this right now as we're just all talking here because, like I said, I'm late to the party. So, of course, I'm gonna say Ahsoka out of that list is gonna be my favorite one. I'm looking most forward to that, but I definitely can't wait to see the Kenobi series. That should be pretty good.
I hope there's a high ground reference, but I think this is important because I'm trying to think, again, I haven't seen all of Rebels. I've seen all the Clone Wars, but I haven't seen all of Rebels. I started watching it, though. I know, obviously, Darth Maul dies in Rebels. I'm trying to think, because they said, if I recall, that Kenobi is set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So I'm trying to see how that would line up with Rebels at all. And I'm curious if we're going to see a live-action interpretation death of Darth Maul, or if they just leave that to animation and we won't see Darth Maul at all. But that is something that I'm looking forward to.
We could see. Well, I was gonna say I do have like the perfect timeline. I saw it on Facebook the other day, and it gives you a timeline of everything of all the Star Wars canon that's come out so far, and it's like a perfect lineup. And I can't remember if it had Kenobi on there or not or yet, but if you really think about it, based on where it's gonna fall in the timeline, that's gonna probably be the earliest we're gonna get content, like as close to Revenge of the Sith, but right afterward, if that makes sense. So it starts, right before the Rebels takes place, and then right before Rogue One.
And then we also have the Han Solo movie. So like, it definitely is good that they're pushing it earlier, because you don't want to end up with all this stuff that's crammed right up against A New Hope. I do wonder if we're going to see Liam Neeson return, or at least cameo, because remember Yoda said,
Yes.
"Oh, training for you I have," and it's backward Yoda speak, Revenge of the Sith. So I'm gonna be disappointed if we don't at least get a voice from Liam.
We're gonna get something from Qui-Gon. I felt like he came and went a little too soon in the Star Wars universe, because we know Liam Neeson's just a boss.
Yeah, he was pretty badass. I like that.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of him. I thought it was kind of crappy that they had to kill him off so fast, but hopefully we will see more of him. So, with that being said, welcome to our 7th episode now. Technically, this would be our 7th. Maybe our 8th if you count the live stream I did in Galaxy's Edge. Yeah. But as we know that I had some technical difficulties. So,
did you?
Yeah,
I was a little busy there. It was fine.
I ended up having to stream on my on our Instagram, because unfortunately my iPad didn't want to connect to the Wi-Fi. And when I tried to stream from YouTube on my phone, it didn't let me.
Did you get on Rise of Resistance though?
No, it was broken the whole day.
Oh.
Yeah. It was broken. Honestly, guys, it was kind of it was a letdown in some ways. Thankfully, I was able to get those Ahsoka savers.
You should have brought them.
I know. You know what?
Celebration of the announcement.
I've been really busy today, so I forgot. I forgot it was even Thursday. But now that I'm here with you and we're talking about this, I can get pumped for the next episode of Mando. So
I almost forgot it's tomorrow, honestly. Right? It's time again tomorrow. Yeah.
These weeks, man, they come and go. So, don't take advantage of any days we get. They're all a gift. There's my little inspiration for the day. All right, new products. We had a little bit better of reviews and rumors speculating around since Monday on. So Funko, they announced, I remember I told you guys last week that they were going to be dropping Target exclusive Moff Gideon with a t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Well, they were going to be dropping a Mando Funko, and it was going to have a t-shirt and everything. And it turns out that was a Moff Gideon pop-in tee. So that was pretty cool. I didn't go after it personally. I didn't really feel a need to, but it looked really cool. The Darksabers glow in the dark. So if you collect pops or you're into that, I would recommend checking your local Target.
Mm-hmm. For the scalpers.
Yeah, seriously. Then Nerf announced on Mando Monday that Nerf was creating an ambient rifle blaster, that long one that Mando shoots, which it's actually gonna be 120 plus tags, which is gonna be quite a gun. But
hurting a lot of parents' walls. Conveniently, probably will come out. Did they say when it's gonna come out? Does it come out the week before Christmas?
No, it actually doesn't come out till next fall.
Oh, okay.
So they have to
next Christmas.
But you should, yeah, right. But you should see. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the picture of it yet, you should. The glam shots actually make it look really, really badass. It's got a nice case.
I wonder what the range is gonna be on it.
I don't know.
Are sniper rifle, because to me that should be almost like a sniper rifle.
I think it does. I'd like to say that it has some sort of scope or something. So it's definitely going to be for everybody that's into Nerf wars. So that'll be cool. So look out for that fall of 2021. New mission fleet was announced. The new mission fleet figures, which these are kind of an underrated one. I do have the Mando on the speeder bike with the child. Mm-hmm. I'm not really big into collecting them, but I do have that one. And then they did announce that there's going to be a Quill on the Blurg.
Finally, we're getting some Quill action figures, because he doesn't even have a Lego figure. It's pretty injustice.
Well, and then plus, it's the first, I guess you could say, Blurg that we're getting, which I kind of wish it was a Black Series Deluxe or something, but I'm sure that'll be there in time. So, also, obviously they pre-orders have started dropping for the new Archive Wave, which I told you guys last week was going to be hitting stores December 24th of this year. They're going to be hitting Target, so if you need a DPCI, let me know. And then there are also, they found 4 new SKU codes with code names with the Black Series, which is kind of fun if you follow like Kylo Collector, Yak Face. They kind of build it up. So there's 4 code names that they have, which means that they're going to be new figures. And it's speculated that 3 of the 4, this isn't confirmed or anything, one of them is going to be Bo-Katan, which we kind of knew was coming. I mentioned it. But this one was kind of a surprise, and honestly, I'm going to have to get these. They're saying there could be a Rise of Skywalker Jedi training Luke and Leia.
For the 1 10-second scene that we got.
Yeah. But to be fair, I think it's cool because like we know Leia is trained to be a Jedi, but like that's the only real snippet in our heads that we get, or really in any Star Wars content that we get of her in like some kind of
unless
training.
They come back from the Mandalorian. Unless we get Jedi Leia.
I had said it. I said that's who was gonna come find Grogu, so we'll see. And yeah, you had said that there's big Marvel news. So moving forward from products, I don't know, is there any Legos?
Yeah, so the only thing on Legos, actually, so first I want to read the comment here. So next to, for one of our viewers, Ray Park is going to be at the Comic-Con at the comic store, 5 minutes away, so he's excited to see him. That is a great opportunity. Yeah, I don't know how close you're going to get to him, but if you have anything you want him to sign, go ahead and sign it. Have someone take a picture for authenticity, and
yes.
Pretty much only Lego news, if you want to even call it that. This is some shameless plug marketing. My custom, I know you can't really see him, but you can go on Instagram and see him. My custom Old Master printed Darth Maul's based on his Battlefront 2 and Rebels appearance. Did come in. This is the prototype. I'm still waiting for the rest of the legs to come in for the rest of the figures, but I will have 30 of these available for sale. And the printing is a replica of his appearance in Battlefront, and his legs are resin printed with some pistons on the back and some shin and knee plates as he appears. Just pretty cool. If you're into some crafty stuff, just thought I'd share it. That's pretty much Lego news. There hasn't been much other than that. I mean, other than one thing, the value of Thrawn's minifigure has like skyrocketed since he was name dropped in The Mandalorian. So there was that. He used to be around $30 or something like that. Now he's skyrocketed. So funny how that happens.
Well, and that's why everybody's looking forward to this new Archive Wave for Black Series, because same goes for the Thrawn figure there. If you look at the first release, I mean, he's going for like 80 plus before they mentioned him in Mando, and now I haven't even looked at the prices because I'm gonna get my ass up early and I'm gonna go grab him before he sells out, so I can get him at retail and not have to pay an arm and a leg. So with that being said, Christian had said earlier that there's some more news here regarding Marvel, and I don't know if you guys have followed it closely, but we're going to be getting an amazing Spider-Man 3 movie based on what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, not Star Wars, but we have to mention this.
This is too good. If you grew up in like anytime from like the late 90s to early 2000s, you would really appreciate it.
And this is coming from a DC person. I am totally psyched for this. With the rumors of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, I don't know if it's something Molina.
Alfred. I think
Alfred Molina or something. The guy who plays Doc Ock
in Spider-Man 2.
You're going to be getting
Jamie Foxx as Electro.
You're going to be getting Emma Stone, right, as Gwen Stacy in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and then you're going to be getting Kristen Dunst as Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's going to be quite a lineup, and then you have your Tom Holland, and you're going to have Zendaya.
I wonder what the ratio of, like, if it's going to seem like it's led by all 3 Spider-Men, or if it's still going to be Tom Holland focused. That's a whole other discussion we can have. But as a DC person, all I can say is I'm very excited.
Well, and then they're bringing Daredevil too. So if you guys watch the Daredevil show, he's going to be there. He's already in the cast. And then they're going to also have, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. So we're going to get to see the old Spider-Mans that we grew up on in the MCU. I mean,
Tobey Maguire has me excited. He's
so amazing.
Some parts, like, it was really good, but there were other parts that were like really cringy, and honestly, they made me laugh.
Oh,
so,
totally.
I kind of hope that they don't change his character, his version of Spider-Man too much, because I'm kind of looking forward to him having those cringy moments. I hope those are still in there.
Maybe he'll do the dance, like, when he becomes a rebel and he'll grow his hair out. Now that would be great.
Have the dark hair like over his eyes, and
oh my gosh, we can only hope. Oh man, so there's a few other things I want to address, or at least one more towards the end, which is some more news. I don't think we've touched up on it yet, but you know what? I'll just go ahead and mention it now. So Inside the Magic, this actually goes along the lines of Mandalorian. Inside the Magic, which for some reason seems to be like my main news source where I get content to give you guys.
Keep in mind, some of it's been proven true in the past, and some of it has not. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yep. So according to this report, they are now casting for a Mandalorian prequel series. So I mean, because I'm late to the party, I don't know if maybe that was like one of the shows they announced.
I didn't see anything. I mean, honestly, like, given the nature of, like, the whole like telephone game you play as kids, how like you have kids in a circle and one whispers the word cow, and then suddenly by the end of the chain it turns into the word corn or something like that. It could have been misconstrued or miscommunicated as prequel, actually meaning like the Kenobi series, which happens way before the Mandalorian. So it could have been something like the telephone game where it gets mistranslated, and it's actually referring to, there's just going to be a series that takes place prior to the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it could be. There's certainly a possibility. But yeah, I mean, according to this, there will be a prequel that basically leads into Mando, or the events that happen in Mando. So maybe it'll be like more on Grogu and his origin. Who knows?
It's like a fight, because if it's strictly between Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian, that's literally a 5-year window. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, I don't know, Luke Skywalker. Maybe this is where we get Luke Skywalker. I don't know.
So that's it for like the big news. I mean, I think we covered that. So now it's time to get into the meat of the conversation every week. I mean, when Mando, we have 2 episodes to go. So when this season stops, it's gonna be sad.
We gotta wait another year.
We're gonna have to wait another year for to go over this. But rest assured, we'll still have some good stuff to talk about. But with that being said, I want to hear what you thought about Boba Fett and his official return in action.
I thought he was amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and address this whole thing, like, with Boba Fett being on the larger side than we last saw him.
It's totally relatable.
Yeah. No, keep in mind that I don't know. I didn't look this much into it, but we don't know if there was a stunt double. We don't know that whole thing. In addition, he had a lot of layers of clothing underneath, so just lay off the guy. But regardless of that, that was amazing to see. The shin rockets threw me for a loop, or the knee rockets, threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting that. But I want to talk about what the announcements today might entail. So a lot of people were speculating, we're going to get a Boba Fett series, or we're going to get an Ahsoka series, or we're going to get this series. And I mentioned I don't want to see series of every Jim and Jan in the Star Wars universe, because I didn't want to get saturated. So good news is, if you do like that stuff, great. We have a bunch of series coming out. The so news, depending on how you take it, is the fact that there's no Boba Fett mentioned either means they did not give it the green light and it would still be in the drawing board stage, to be considered in the proposal stage, or that could negate the theory that a lot of outlets were pushing at the beginning, was that, we're only going to see Boba Fett like once or twice, and then we're not going to see him again. He's going to go into his own spinoff. Like, remember there was that rumor or whatever. Yeah. So the fact that it's not announced will indicate one of those two things. after seeing the last episode, and remember I said I think he's going to come back. I don't believe those rumors, even though there were a lot of people saying it. And sure enough, he came back, and we know he's going to at least be in the next episode. And remember, very first or second episode we did of this, it might have been when we did our first episode on Instagram. I said, I wonder if they're going to paint Boba Fett as an anti-hero. Yeah, sure enough, I've been spot on. That being said, I still don't trust him. I think there's some shady stuff.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting to see that a lot of our thoughts that we had weeks ago,
they're coming to
fruition. So, question is will yours hold up where Moff Gideon hires Boba Fett?
Yeah, and that's the tough part. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't believe that this last episode kind of threw a wrench in my confidence with that prediction. So it certainly did, but I'm with you there. I still don't 100% trust them, and I think that they had Boba Fett emphasize that he's loyal to nobody for a reason. Mm-hmm. He's simply a man. He's just, like he said, he's a simple man trying to make his way through the galaxy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he is, and he's going to do whatever it takes to keep peace and to make money. And so he's going to go
and not die.
Right.
Again.
Well, and this is so that's what he's going to do. I mean, so now we know that he owes a debt to Din Djarin for giving him his armor back before the Razor Crest got blown to shreds, and all the Hasbro Lab backers of that Razor Crest cried in horror.
I still have my Lego set sealed, and now I'm like,
oh, I don't know.
They're probably going to rebuild it in like a different color.
I think so. Like who knows? Maybe they'll use like pure Beskar or something. Whatever. But
just make everything Beskar at this point, right?
But yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to still stick by my prediction because I got to write it out. But I definitely don't feel as confident as I did past couple episodes. So we'll have to see what that goes.
You were right about Grogu's tendencies, though.
Yeah, I think that the big thing here is going to be that Grogu is going to tap into his dark side. And Moff Gideon pushing into the edge. I mean, we already saw it when he was choking the stormtroopers.
The baby handcuffs killed me. I had to say that.
Yeah,
well, I had little kid, like.
I know. And then too, he's like if you think about it, it's pretty messed up. Moff Gideon is like sitting there, basically like taunting a child while he's handcuffed, and then they shoot him with that I don't know what you want to call it, the taser or ray gun that knocks him out. Like, it's pretty dark. I mean, he's like using and abusing this child. For clearly we know what. I mean, it's becoming more clear that they want the child to do some sort of cloning. I mean,
And they said donor.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? I think they used
they said donor.
And I was like, okay, that implies that like they're not training him to be a Sith or something. Like they're gonna use him
to bring back Palpatine. I think that's what a lot of people speculated, including us, and I think that's where it's trending. Mm-hmm. That's what would make the most sense, and I think that's kind of the part of the story that most people saw coming, but are kind of happy. It looks, at least, that it's coming to fruition to this point.
Now, did you see the Bad Batch trailer?
I know I didn't.
Okay, so I believe it was the Bad Batch trailer. This was brought up by there were numerous people that saw it all at once. This was noted by Spear Like Halo, maybe a few other people on Instagram. Is we actually see a figure for quick shot in the trailer that has replica colored armor, like geometry, like everything is spot on, but like an animated version of Fennec's armor in the Bad Batch.
Really?
Yeah. So and some people are like, oh, that's Fennec. It might be. Maybe they're gonna tie that into the Mandalorian. Although I'm trying to think of the age gap, because she was already wearing the armor, and not that you should just necessarily go by someone's age or looks for age, but she's pretty young in the Mandalorian, and when you consider that she's already wearing armor in Bad Batch time era, you would think that she would look older in Mandalorian if that is her. That's my only thought on that. It could even be someone that she gets the armor from, or if we find out that armor, she was an assassin. Maybe there's like some league of assassins and they all have that armor. I think there'll be a connection to Fennec. I'm not going to necessarily predict and say that it is Fennec, because we don't really see the ages don't add up in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know how much sense that would make at the end of the day, but we'll see. Anything's possible. A couple things. So we had said last time that we thought this was going to be a filler episode. This was not a filler episode at all. It was far from it, and I was really happy to see that. It was a welcome surprise, an unexpected surprise, I should say. It was entertainment from start to finish.
A surprise to be sure, but a welcome.
Yeah, right. We know that the Dark Troopers are confirmed. So, Moff Gideon said, send out the Dark Troopers or something like that. So that was the cue that we knew.
And Lego and Hasbro,
they're about to go crazy
sitting in the corners like, oh, okay,
they're waiting.
Yeah.
Next year, summer 2021, that's when you should start looking for Dark Trooper products.
Yeah.
And then wait it out because they'll probably go on clearance, like all the child plushes are, because they've overstocked them.
They have I don't know if you've seen the Lego Grogu plush. It's weird because first of all, Grogu is a Lego. The regular Lego already looks a little off of Grogu, but then the fact that they made a giant plush,
I saw that. It was
version of the Lego Grogu. It's hideous. But
yeah,
anyway,
it wasn't.
If you like it, enjoy it. But I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. I saw it at Target too, and I was like,
it's pretty. Yeah.
I was like, no, that doesn't really look like. It looks like a younger Yoda, if anything.
It looks like a green gremlin.
Yeah, a green gremlin. That's a great analogy. So apparently nobody dies in Star Wars because Finnick clearly got shot pretty bad last season, and so we know now though we found kind of an answer to a question we sort of forgot about, which was who was the character that showed up at the end of that episode from last season, which I think was episode 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. It was Boba Fett that showed up and I remember reading reports that it might be Boba Fett.
And I was like, well, he's wearing cowboy boots, and I was like, eh. But it doesn't make sense now because he didn't have his armor back yet, so it does make sense. So.
Exactly, and I think is it far-fetched again that nobody dies in Star Wars? Is it far-fetched that she survived? Yeah, but if you're a true fan, I think it's overlookable, I guess.
Do you think we're gonna get Mayfeld back?
Yeah, I do. That's the guy that was showing
the robot arm. Yeah, because that actor said that he wasn't gonna be in season 2. Now either he's lying, or maybe that means that he's gonna pull an Obi-Wan, where technically what I said is true. Maybe he's gonna be in season 3 instead of season 2. It could be one of those things, or it could just be a lie. I am after last episode. Okay, so I was like, when he left Cara Dune back on the planet in the previous episodes, I'm like, okay, I was wrong. She's safe. The fact that he went back there the whole entire time, I'm like, nope, leave her there. Nope, leave her there.
This is where she's gonna die, guys.
Yes, so I said at the beginning that I was most worried about Ahsoka, and Cara Dune. Ahsoka's getting her own spin-off series, so she's probably not going to die unless it becomes a prequel type thing. But I think she's safe now. When we were safe, I'm still very worried about Cara Dune. People are saying, Fennec's gonna die this episode or something like that. I don't see Fennec dying this episode. Maybe the final episode, but I really think that we haven't seen enough of her character yet to care. So at least in my opinion, if they killed her, I'd be like, okay, But if they kill Cara Dune, who we've had more of,
I hope not. I really am getting attached to her character.
I don't know. I'm worried because I thought they were fine leaving her, and now the fact that he went back there, maybe he's just asking for the tip on Mayfeld and he'll leave her there. But that's the first thing we're looking for in the episode tomorrow. If I see her on the Razor Crest, all I gotta say is prayers up because I don't think she's coming out of that one.
I kind of like the fact that we're slowly seeing Mando throughout the galaxy. He's building an anti-hero army. Mm-hmm. That's not really good. They're not really working for the New Republic, but at the same time, they don't like the Empire and they want them gone. So I think that's kind of a cool twist too. It's been so black and white as far as good and bad in the Star Wars universe. So it's kind of cool to get that gray area where they're we kind of fight for ourselves, but it just so happens that it's against the remnants of the Empire.
Yeah, it's really hate to sound academic here, but it's really an interesting common concept that you get in ethics class, right? You want to write on something if you have a take-home final on ethics. It's does the end justify the means? In this case, he's going out finding criminals, sketchy people, to go and get the child. So it's definitely interesting. My worry is I still think Boba Fett's a little sus. They paint him as an anti-hero, but I could see them snap. So what I think is going to happen if he does flip, I think what's going to happen, they're going to get Grogu back. The final episode of the season, Boba Fett's going to say, I technically did my duty. I gave you Grogu. He's going to immediately get tasked with getting the child.
So do you think it's going to be because Moff Gideon commissions him to?
I don't know. I don't necessarily even know this is going to happen, but I could definitely see, based on his character, the Boba Fett tendency, the reminder of him that he works for himself. I could definitely see him, pulling that, I guess, technically legal code of dropping off the child and then immediately saying, getting hired to go get the child or something.
I really have that feeling.
Yeah, so, but we'll see. We'll see. We did get the slave one. That was something else.
I was going to bring that up too. Yeah.
I said it being like, we're getting the slave one, we're getting the slave one, we're getting the slave one. Here it is. I saw it in the sky. I'm like, yep, there it is.
Well, remember, it was crazy because we somehow just, I don't know if we have our crystal ball was working really well because I just brought up the article, remember last show, and it was talking about how Slave One will be back in the Mandalorian at some point, and didn't realize it was going to be next episode. So that was awesome. I mean, I pretty much freaked out, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we go."
I was like, I was on that.
I was like, "Oh my god, here we go. This is what they're gonna do."
Brianna was laughing the whole time, like when he was going upward. She's like, "That's not aerodynamic. Like it's literally like a flying brick with wings, and it's just like going straight up."
So what it sounds like, Christian, is you're kind of jumping on my prediction bandwagon with Boba Fett hunting down the child and Din Djarin. Is that fair to say?
I don't know if it's going to happen this season or next season, but I don't see Boba Fett maintaining the anti-hero role. I think he's going to seem like that, and then he's going to stab Mando in the back. Maybe literally, no. But another reason too is Giancarlo, the gentleman who plays Moff Gideon. There was a quote from him saying that, don't worry, you'll see even more of his character. You'll see a lot of his character in season 3, which to me implies that he's going to have more of a role and possibly maybe hiring Boba Fett or something else. I wonder if we're going to see Thrawn. I'm skeptical we're going to see Thrawn. I think we might see him a little bit, but I really think the meat of that whole Thrawn thing now is going to be in the Ahsoka series.
Yeah.
I think they're going to leave that because you're going to end up with too many storylines.
Yep.
Bo-Katan, I think we might honestly be done with.
Really?
I think so. I think she might come back once, but she might be an in and out sort of deal. At least for this season. I mean, I don't think we're going to see her again. Unless she's on the team. She could be on the team that Din Djarin assembles, but then she's going to be working with a bunch of criminals. Might be a weird dynamic. So I definitely think that one main character is going to die by the end of the season, or at least get severely injured, or something life-changing. I think the next thing we need to discuss is who Grogu was talking to.
Well, hold on. You're going a little bit too fast for me here. I gotta catch up here. So first of all, I let the record show I strongly disagree. I do think Bo-Katan, actually, that's one of my predictions. I think she's gonna show up either this next episode or in the finale. Mm-hmm. Because if you remember, I think she's after the Darksaber, and so I mean naturally.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Naturally, if they're building up. I mean, okay, like just when you think they can't get any more badass and like these episodes can't get cooler, you're literally gonna take Boba Fett, Din Djarin, and you're gonna then put Bo-Katan in there, and they're gonna fight, take down Moff Gideon. Clearly, they're not. If that's true, I mean, if Moff Gideon's gonna be in it for the long run, which it sounds like he'll be on past season 2, he's not gonna die. It's just a matter of if they get Grogu back or not. I know like a lot of people, and he texted me too. You remember he texted me saying, is it gory or something? Because you were like you were scared because people had, I guess, said to you like they were like super upset
and they're like, it was gut wrenching and like I want to vomit and stuff like that.
And I couldn't say anything to him because I would spoil it. But I mean, I know what it was. I remember I felt like that. Like, I mean, it was sad to see Grogu get taken like that.
I know. I was waiting for someone to get gutted or something like that. No, I actually do agree with you. And the more I think about it, I think we are going to get Bo-Katan because I forgot about the Darksaber issue. So I do think she's going to come back. And, you know, I said anyways, she might come back once, but forget it in this season. But I forgot there's only 2 more episodes. So, yeah, I agree, actually. I agree with you there.
Yeah, and I think ultimately, too, and you said it, and this kind of like made me think. I think we will get the Jedi that's going to look for Grogu at the end of this season. Would it be cool to see it tomorrow? Yeah, but I think it's going to be like kind of a teaser leading into next season. So it's still going to be kind of a mystery as to who it's going to be. I mean, I could see a situation where the Jedi finds them and teams up with the Mandos to take down the Empire, and then it's just, what the hell? Like, how can this get any better?
All I'm going to say is if it's Luke Skywalker, he's going to be triggered when he sees Boba Fett.
Oh my God. Well, could you imagine, though? Like, just think about that. Think about this. If you're a Star Wars fan, I mean, like, as funny as it is, like, I'm getting the chills just thinking about it. Bo-Katan, freaking Boba Fett, Din Djarin, and then you throw in a Jedi, maybe like even somebody like Luke Skywalker. I mean, does it really, like, what else can you possibly do at that point to make this more of a dream for people, you know, like that love the series? So
yeah, I think what's interesting though about the whole Jedi thing is now I see a post that was like zoomed in. It's like mysterious figure up there on the top of the temple with Grogu. I honestly think it's just a rock. You might know what I'm talking about. I think it's just because the stones are pointed inwards that figure just looked like the rock that was far away. I don't think that was anyone physically there. Brianna had said, and I was thinking the same thing, honestly, when you were sitting there, when all the robots were like, the Dark Troopers were diving down to grab Grogu. Brianna said a Jedi's going to jump out and save him. And I thought that's where that was going to go. For a split second, but then I remember people saying it was gut-wrenching. But I bring this up because not that I thought that any Jedi in particular was going to spontaneously like appear out of nowhere, but if they were up there for a while and and they hadn't been attacked, I wonder if like a Jedi would have physically showed up. You know, we don't know how long they were up there, but I guess what this is leaning towards is the fact that there's no physical figure up there doesn't rule out the fact that he could have been talking to a Force ghost, which especially, you know, I think you said it. You said, oh, what if he talks to a Sith instead when he reaches out, and that could have been what happened. We could have literally had him reaching out to the spirit of Palpatine and 2.0, right?
He'll gladly give his DNA at that point. So hopefully that's not the case. I mean, that would kind of suck, honestly, to watch the child get corrupted and then he turns dark. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but it looks like it's a possibility. I think
he's not going to stay that way.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, I think we're going to see some dark side to him. So, kind of that internal struggle. It's classic Star Wars. Everybody's faced it. I feel like if you hold a lightsaber or if you wield anything with the Force. So, I had read a couple articles that was pretty interesting about midway through this week, and it was kind of an interesting thought. And the articles that I read were from some pretty reputable sources. Some people think that Boba Fett will be the character to die, and the reason that I think that actually could be true is because, number one, they want to give us as fans, I think, as much fan service as they can without wearing out his welcome. And I think that could either be number one, we probably didn't hear about a Boba Fett series because maybe either they don't want to spoil something because there's something else we need to know, or it's still an early stage, or, you know, number two, he's done. I mean, they could actually officially kill him off at the season finale, and I mean,
that could be the death.
That could be. I mean, I think we will see somebody that's going to die. I think the two most likely candidates are going to be Din Djarin, or not Din Djarin, excuse me, Cara Dune, or maybe Boba Fett. And I mean, it would be kind of a cool way to see though Boba Fett go out as more of a hero. Yeah, and because we always think of like Boba Fett from the old series as more of like a Sith, or more of on the Empire side, if anything. Like one of the shirts that I have that says Dark Side, it literally has the Stormtroopers, Darth Vader, and then Boba Fett in the background. So how cool would it be to kind of like flip that script a little bit and give us something different?
Yeah, I'm skeptical. I could see him dying, but unless these episodes are each an hour long or something like that, I don't see them killing him off this season, at least, because I feel like fans were clamoring for him. We got a teaser. He came back, right, last episode, and now we're like, this party's just gonna start with Boba Fett, and then if he turns around and dies, like as soon as he turns the corner, I'm gonna.
It'll be a jaw dropper, to say the least.
Yeah, I think I'll still be left with something satisfying. So it'll be like,
totally.
You work Boba Fett in the story, and then you got rid of him. I think if he's gonna die, it should at least be season 3. Again, and obviously they may want to make these episodes mini movies that are coming out. Then that might be a little bit different. I do think that Cara Dune's the most to be worried about. Now, with the news that Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor are coming back in the Kenobi series, shows that, hey, Hayden is still involved with Lucasfilm. So I think that adds a little bit of credibility, or a little bit increased probability that we might see Anakin Force Ghost or Anakin Spirit, or something of the nature, maybe just the voice talking to Grogu. Because before I was a little like, because he hasn't been involved in Star Wars in a while. So the fact that he's announced there, and Ewan McGregor is officially but we knew that was coming, but the fact that he's officially back also implies there's a possibility we get Obi-Wan Ghost.
Yeah.
So,
well, all I'd like to say is that I'm happy that I thought through some of these things, because a lot of the ideas we've thrown around have been some of my predictions. Because I think I was the one that said, right, Anakin could be like the one that comes to him.
Yeah, we talked about
I think we said that last week, and then the whole Leia thing. Yeah, I mean, it really is just going to depend. I think it's a possibility that we get more Hayden Christensen. People have been wanting it for a long time. He was one of the voices that called out to Rey in Rise of Skywalker. So,
do you think the Jedi is going to show up in some capacity in the final episode of The Mandalorian?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that we will probably get him or her at the end of this season.
Probably just a teaser, or be like Boba Fett style.
It'll probably be a teaser, is my guess. I don't think we'll get some full on action, but I mean, how cool would that be just to like end it with that?
I had an awful thought, and given my track record of being 60-70% right, I hope to God that I'm wrong about this. Just disclaimer.
Oh, no.
But I had the passing thought that they could show Moff Gideon slice someone with a darksaber, or blaster fire go off or something and shoot someone, but then not show who got killed, and we have to wait until next season to see who it was that.
Oh wow, that's kind of an off the cuff thought.
I had that thought, and I hope that doesn't happen, because we're gonna have to wait a whole year to figure out who got shot, if they survived, etc. And there's been other series that have done something like that, but I did have that passing thought that we could see, Moff Gideon raise the darksaber and slash someone, but you don't know who it is that he finishes off. So I had a thought. I hope I'm wrong. I do think the Jedi is going to show up. I'm still betting on it being Luke. I don't think it's going to be Ezra. I think if it's Ezra, they're going to save Ezra for the Ahsoka series with Thrawn. I think that if that is the direction they're going, I think that kind of pushes Ezra out of the scope of The Mandalorian, and I'm leaning more towards it. Well, I already was, but I have more confidence in it being Luke Skywalker or Force Ghost at this point. And because I think Ezra will be in the Ahsoka series. There was an article I want to hear from you on. There was an article that came out midweek, I think this week, or a few days ago, that said Din Djarin will be the is force sensitive and will become the Jedi that trains Grogu or something like that. And remember, I said last week, I said, honestly, that's not really where I think it's going to go, but it wouldn't surprise me if Din Djarin
could be the Jedi that,
Yeah, so
maybe a Jedi will come looking for him when he calls on the. I mean, it could be Din Djarin. Now that I think, I'm glad you brought that up. It could be Din Djarin, because think about it. You said it best. Like Ahsoka, she chose her words very carefully. She said, "A Jedi, if he reaches out in the Force, a Jedi will come after him." And now that he's gotten stolen, a Jedi might be going after him. But maybe
and didn't try to grab Grogu multiple times. He literally, you call it corny, but he literally was trying to go after the child.
You know what?
The thing.
That could easily be.
Like
now that I think about that,
yeah.
That is a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. That could easily be what happens here. We could get nobody out like that we think, and it's actually Din Djarin.
Because the show at the end of the day is the Mandalorian, not the Mandalorian and Luke Skywalker, not the Mandalorian and Ezra, not the Mandalorian and Ahsoka.
If it is a Jedi, if it is another Jedi, and like Din Djarin isn't a Jedi, at least like somebody chasing after the child. I had brought up that I think that there's a possibility it could be Leia, and I'm gonna stick with that. If it's somebody that's in the flesh, I think it actually will be Leia.
Okay, because I know you said Ezra a while ago.
I see. For me, it's between three. It really is between Ezra, Luke, and Leia. But I'm gonna probably stick with Leia because I don't think a lot of people would be expecting it.
And we already know they can CGI her.
Right. Well, and all three make sense to me to show up in this timeline, but I think the most likely candidate is going to be either Luke or Leia. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with Leia, though, as my number one.
Okay, and Luke is going to be my number one. Again, I never thought it was going to be Ezra. I'm not personally a fan of his character. Some people really love him. But again, with the announcement of the Ahsoka series, I think that is more fitting that he shows up. Could be in that storyline with Thrawn rather than him magically showing up in the Mandalorian, because then we're gonna have a lot of cross-pollinating between Disney Plus series, and it's like, well, why not just call it Star Wars General Disney Plus series Episode 1?
Yeah,
and have everyone.
They're gonna have to get creative too with all these canon Jedi that they've added, like Ezra, Ahsoka, everybody like that. I mean, there's only so much you can do to before fans really start. They've already started to question this, but before fans really push to want to know where the hell were all these people when the Empire was about to fall, when Luke and the Rebellion needed your help. Yeah, when the rise of the First Order came to be. During the First Order, you know what I mean? Where the hell were these people?
You said the 25-year-old Luke Skywalker in there by himself. Who had, he had some training, but compared to the Jedi before.
Well, think about it was Ahsoka. Ahsoka would have been a lot more of. Well, damn. Think about it. They would have thought of that 40 years ago.
I know.
If she would have been the main character and would have taken on Darth Vader, but
Yeah, but
who knows?
But yeah, no. The point is that's why the whole nonsense about Mace Windu surviving. If he does, they got some questions to answer.
Oh my
God!
God.
I'm gonna be if anyone, I mentioned this before, if anyone wanted to come back and literally murder Palpatine and Vader, it would have been Mace Windu. Yeah.
If Mace Windu shows up, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm really going to be all right, now we've gone too far. We've overstepped the boundaries. And I promise it's not because he's black. I love him. I love Samuel Jackson. Okay? All right? This has nothing to do with race. All right? So I know some people will be thinking about that, but it is not. I love Samuel Jackson. Mace Windu is an awesome character. I just think, he flew out of a window after getting electrocuted for a minute straight.
Windu out the window.
So if he survives, I swear it will officially have overstepped the boundaries. And I am a very, I always like to give people anything really the benefit of the doubt. They will have lost me at that point.
Yeah. And that's what I'm worried, because I saw a post that said, it had Disney ruin Star Wars, and they crossed out ruin and put save. As nice as all these series announcements are, put the lid on it for now, and let's wait and see how these shape up. I would rather not have my hopes up and be pleasantly surprised than expect the sun, the moon, and the stars, like people did from some of the sequel trilogy, and then be left disappointed if you weren't a fan of those. So, so I would definitely I think these announcements are good, but we want to make sure that it's not, you don't want to over convoluted either. We don't need to this storyline to suddenly jump back to this storyline.
It's going to get too complicated. I mean, if you're not in the Star Wars universe, right? Well, if you're not in the Star Wars universe by now, it's already too late, guys. If you don't follow it, I mean, I'm just going to tell people straight up, like, I don't know if you're really going to even want to at this point, because it's just so, like, just if you want to follow Star Wars, stick to the main storylines of episodes 1 through 9 and then call it a day. Because for the casual viewer like my wife, she ain't going to sit through and watch all these. I mean, she just isn't. She's not going to care. It's going to be too much to follow.
It's going to be too daunting. If you've never seen Star Wars, it's going to be too daunting to sit down and say, okay, I need to watch 100 hours worth of Star Wars, right? The other thing, too, is timeline. Like, Brianna started watching them and stuff. But you're often left with this question. You see Reddit threads on this. You see it in Facebook groups. This person's trying to get into Star Wars. What order should you watch the movies in? And usually the debates are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so forth. The order they were made, or I think it's called like the machete order, where it's like 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 6, or something like that for like the effect of Darth Vader, the dark side. But the point is now like they keep going like, okay, we're gonna start over here, and then we're gonna go over here. Oh, and then guess what? We're gonna fill it in with a movie, and then put a TV series just after the movie, but before the original movie. Like,
I mean, I don't know what I can't wait to see when, like, 20 years from now, after Lucasfilm's finally like done with Star Wars and they retire it or something for good, whenever that is. I can't wait to see what that timeline's gonna look like. But you know what, guys? Just for your sake, and if you have any of those casual viewers in life that want to know what order to watch them in, I'm going to post that timeline that I was telling you earlier in the episode. Okay. Because it's really helpful. And if you have to tell anybody what order to watch things in, if you want to give them the entire Star Wars experience, this is going to be perfect. So I'll post that in our feed once this episode's over. But, I don't know. You're going to lose people. You're going to lose the casual viewer.
So my question to you is, right now we got Din, of course. We have Boba. We have Fennec. Those 3 are confirmed. Now we see dialogue with Kara regarding Mayfeld as well. But just assuming Din, Boba, and Fennec, what is your prediction for this team that he's seemingly assembling? Who do you think is going to be on it?
I think long-term Bo-Katan and Din Djarin are going to team up.
Okay.
A lot's going to depend on what happens with Boba Fett at the end of this.
No, but this team, at least to
you're talking about the team that's going to end up trying to go get Grogu now?
That's what it seems. Yes.
Okay.
Assuming he is making a team. That's what this looks like. I don't have no other reason why he would ask where this guy is.
It's going to be Boba Fett. I'll give you. It's Boba Fett. It's going to be Cara Dune. It's going to be Fennec. It's going to be Din Djarin, obviously. It's going to be Bo-Katan.
Do you think Grief Karga?
Grief Karga will jump in.
He was in a lot of promo. And
I think we'll get Grief Karga, and honestly, I think Grief Karga is going to make Mithril. I think he's going to make him fight, too. Which, by the way, I got the Mithril Funko Pop, and may I just say,
it's funny.
It's funny. But not even just that, it actually, surprisingly, the paint applications on that Funko Pop are a really
bright, sure they're good.
They're bright blue, and I'm really actually happy I picked it up. I picked it up for free, too. I'm even happier with that because of my GameStop coupons. But anyways, I think, I'd maybe throw him in there, too, because he was a big part of the promos. I think that's probably, who knows, maybe Ahsoka could join them. I don't know. That would be, amazing. I don't think she will, but that'd be awesome. So I'm going to stick with those that I just gave you, minus Ahsoka.
Do you think Mayfeld, or do you think he's just going to ask about where he is and not show up?
Yeah, you can add Mayfeld in there. I don't think they'd bring him up unless there would really be
that'd be such a disconnect.
It would be so weird unless there's a plan, later in the series for him. I don't know. It's just kind of a stupid character to mention again, unless they had a plan to bring him back in here. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. Now, as part of
Cobb Vanth. Wait, Cobb Vanth.
Got him. Cobb Vanth. He already is on Tatooine, right? Right now, yeah, he's on Tatooine right now with Kara. So Cobb Vanth could come back. I feel like he is.
Well, Kara's on Navarro.
Oh yeah, she is. That's right. But I think he could go.
He could go recruit, and he'll be back on Tatooine. Remember we had said like how many times are gonna go back to Tatooine?
Yeah, he'll be back in Tatooine. I don't know about Cobb Vanth.
They're gonna bring him back.
I kind of want him to show, because not that he's a big name actor per se, but he's in a lot of stuff on Netflix and other things. So like I honestly think that like they wouldn't waste someone that's semi-recognizable and has been on a lot of different series and then not use his character in more than one episode.
Maybe wishful thinking here, but I mean, I think what's gonna happen, and this is just my off the cuff prediction. This is sort of like my bold prediction, you could call it. I think Cobb Vanth is going to join the team. I think that that Boba Fett, like the guy we know that is behind the armor as Boba Fett, I think he's going to die, and maybe Cobb Vanth takes that armor and like takes up the reign of the official Boba Fett. You know, he gets the armor back because let's face it. I mean, he would be a pretty cool. I think he'd do a good job if he became like the long-term Boba Fett, you know, with the armor.
Maybe.
So I could see that happening where he maybe like just takes up the Kree and takes the armor once the real Boba Fett dies and maybe go from there. I don't know.
Or another thought I had, I don't think the real quote-unquote Boba Fett's going to die, but there are the two other Mandalorians with Bo-Katan. So assuming they're also part of that, it could be one of them. What's his name? Axe dies and
True.
Cobb Vanth gets that. That being said, I know we completely forgot about Cobb Vanth for a while. I don't think Cobb Vanth is in danger of dying. I don't think they're going to.
No, I don't think so. That would be quite a. I think he became such a popular character after that episode that I don't know if they're going to kill him off. At least now, it wouldn't really make much sense.
Mm-hmm. I think. Out of all of them, I'm sticking by my
Cara Dune.
Yeah. Cara Dune, please stay behind cover because I think she is in most danger. Grief Karga could be another one. Fennec could be another one. I think Fennec is less likely. I think looking at this list, I'm going to say the two most in danger are probably going to be Cara or Grief Karga.
Yeah, I think it'll be somebody from season 1. I think that's because they've not worn out their welcome, but they've run their course and we've gotten to know them as a character. So maybe they feel comfortable like killing.
If they want to go with the heartbreak.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's why it could actually be Grief Karga at the end of the day, because like Cara Dune still has a lot that we need to learn about her, and
with Alderaan and
yeah, I thought I read something about that list having some about like. Officers of the New Republic or something is one of the new shows they're going to have. It could be Cara Dune, you know? I mean,
that could be the spin-off.
That could be the spin-off for her because it's going to take place after the fall of the Empire. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see where they go. I mean, I think it's going to be Grief Karga or Cara Dune.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I think so. Cody and I's prediction: if someone's going to die, the ones most in danger are going to be Cara Dune and Grief Karga.
And then the bold prediction, I guess, would be Boba Fett.
Okay.
For me. So.
For me, I really don't see Boba Fett dying. I don't see Boba Fett. I don't see him dying this quickly. I see him dying, not this quickly. Mayfeld could, but I mean, I wouldn't.
He's kind of a worthless character to kill off. Yeah. Nobody really cares about him.
Yeah, and same with Fennec. Like, we just start to see her character. If they kill her off, it's going to be like, oh, well, you know.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, I'll be like, hey, you know, whatever.
Yeah, Opposite, you're saying they're going to kill off Boba. Why is Cara in so much danger? Opposite, so we said some things at the beginning in, like, the first episode. She had made a post on social media that made it sound like she was done filming The Mandalorian for good, which maybe that just means she's exiting The Mandalorian and going to this other series. But that was a little suspect. And then also in season 1, she got kind of close to The Mandalorian. Some people were like, you know, shipping them together. Others were saying they're friends. Point is we see her and The Mandalorian get kind of close, and then we see Grief Karga kind of join their squad, and all three of them are really close. And basically, you know, we're towards the end of season 2, and for that reason, we are primarily concerned about or we think the highest probability of getting killed off would be Cara Dune or Grief Karga for that reason.
This is going to be, I mean, they weren't kidding when they said it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. Mm-hmm. After that episode, it was, and it's just going to probably get more so that way. I'm like just sitting here, it's just getting me so excited. The fact that it's Thursday night and we're talking about this, like now I cannot wait to wake up in the morning, maybe even early.
I got one question for you. What? That had to do with one of your predictions from last time. You said that you thought at the end of the series, Moff Gideon was going to end up with the child. In this case, I mean, we're towards the end of the series, but he ended up with the child sooner than it sounds like.
Do I stick with it?
Do you think by the end of the last episode, he is still going to have custody of the child?
Yeah.
So you think that in between these two next episodes, Moff Gideon is like they're not going to be able to successfully get the child?
Yeah, I think they're going to still have him because we left season 1 where Din Djarin had reclaimed or had kept the child safe, and we thought defeated Moff Gideon for good. I forgot I said that. Yeah, we've made so many predictions; it's tough to keep track. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that they're gonna maybe lose or at least be unsuccessful with. I think they'll make a good run, especially with the team that they're gonna have. But I think at the end of the day, Moff Gideon will win this round, and that'll be one of the things they leave us with going into season 3. And now it's gonna be the other way where they're chasing Grogu, and maybe Grogu taps into his dark side enough to where he actually decides to go with Grief Karga. That could be another thing too.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he has to make a choice, and the dark side like overtakes his soul, and he decides to go with Moff Gideon because clearly it's there. I mean, and that would again go along with my other prediction that said that he would tap into those darker feelings. So who knows?
I don't know if I have a prediction on that or if I feel like I have enough intuition on that, but what I could also see happening is the entrance of the Jedi is like they're surrounded or something like that in the very final episode, and you see the light. We could even not know the Jedi. We could see a lightsaber light up.
That would be the biggest freaking cliffhanger ever.
We could see a lightsaber light up and not know who it is.
If it's a green lightsaber, I think we can safely say it's Ezra or Luke, because I mean they're the only two I think that are living that have a green lightsaber.
I'm saying that we might not even see.
Watch it be like Qui-Gon or something.
I'm saying we might not even see them like physically. What I'm saying is we might hear the sound or see like a reflection from the sun on the ground or something, and see like the blade go up and hear the or something like that. Like they could honestly.
That would piss me off.
And then you wouldn't know.
No, that'll piss me off. I hope not.
Because that would explain why I got so well hidden regarding casting leaks. Because we had a lot of casting leaks already, and most of them ended up being true. But that would explain why no one would have leaked this. Number one, I'm assuming if it is Luke, that would have been kept under stronger wraps than Ahsoka, which could be a reason we haven't heard about Luke or Leia. But at the same time, the reason we might not have heard it is because if it is Ezra, it is Luke, it is Leia, or some other Cal Kestis from the Fallen Order video game, or some other Jedi. It could be they don't have like the actor yet that's actually gonna play like the full body version of them. So they may just have a stunt person stand in, ignite a lightsaber against the shadow, and then you see again basically some teaser that there's a Jedi there that's coming to rescue them, but you don't know who it is.
Well, I might as well just trade in my Fallen Order game at GameStop, because I mean I haven't even finished playing the game, and it just so happened that like in my YouTube queue, the next like video that popped up after I had listened to one of the other like Star Wars commentators was the ending of that video game, and then everybody's speculating that it's Cal Kestis. So I mean, it's no point in even finishing the game at this point. I mean, granted I'm a year late. I mean, I'm not a huge video game guy, so I should have just finished
Fallen Order. It was too expensive.
Yeah, I'm still gonna finish it. For what it's worth, but clearly I think we know now that Cal survived. So
and we're getting a sequel to the game though.
Of course we are.
No, but what that means is he could die in the second game.
Oh yeah, he could. I guess if there's a sequel, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily mean like if they stop the series, then I'd say okay, yeah, there's a good chance. But the fact that the second one doesn't necessarily confirm he lives or dies.
God. Yeah, I mean, even hardcore fans are gonna start losing track of the timelines and everything. I mean, it's gonna be like if now they start like putting more video games in the mix, it's just
it's not so much the video games; it's the fact that they're canon. Because
right.
we have the whole storyline in Battlefront 2 with Iden Versio turning against the
which
Empire,
is a great storyline. That's a great storyline.
But yeah, so you know, there's an endless number of things that they could do. You know, at this point, I'm like, okay, well, Battlefront 2's canon storyline takes place when in relation to the Mandalorian, and you know, because in Battlefront 2, that came out a while ago, so I'm hoping I'm not spoiling anything. But there's like droids that have like Palpatine's like commands program into it. Like you see a hologram version of Palpatine or whatever, like in like a crystal ball on the body of this robot. I don't know how to describe it. But my point is like, okay, we know these things exist, but we don't see any of those in Mandalorian, and both of these are considered canon. So, you know, there's some time gap, so some timeline clarification that could be used. But
any questions before we tune out for the night?
Let's see.
Who put the laughing face?
I think he reached out to Grievous. He's a big Grievous fan. No, haha. He said regarding the thing about like, oh, maybe they won't tell us who got shot or killed. He said, oh yeah, that's a similar vibe to Breaking Bad. Whole build up until last two seasons. Huge cliffhanger at the end. Same with The Walking Dead. So there's that. Yeah, if you all have questions or opinions you want us to read off, we'll go ahead and do that now before we tune out for the night. Oakwasai saying they're not going to kill off Boba. It's too early.
That's a fair statement. I figured I'd bring it up because I thought it was interesting. I don't know if I buy it 100%. I'm kind of like 60-40, as in 60% not believing it, and 40% of me sort of believes it could happen.
You're like when I say I don't think this is going to happen, but wouldn't surprise me.
Right. Yeah. Right.
We got an opinion on Spider-Man here. I like Andrew Garfield the best. I thought he was underrated.
He was good.
I liked him as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As Peter Parker, he's okay, but I liked his version of Spider-Man. I like the older take personally. I know it's not, comic books, blah blah blah. I personally like the more mature, older take of Spider-Man.
Yeah, same.
Such as Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, than
Tom Holland.
Nothing against Tom Holland, but like, I just like
he does a good high school Peter Parker.
I
I still don't see him as Spider-Man. I don't know. That's just me. I'm not like a huge fan, but he is the Spider-Man that's been part of the MCU, so he has made his staple in cinematic history.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Well, there are no more questions. Lots of comments, but no more questions. We went over pretty much everything, all the discussion. So,
awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. If you watch this later, hope you guys enjoy this episode. And I'm sure we're going to have an amazing conversation next week, like we always do, as the tension builds towards the finale. So
and you'll either make fun of us next week for being way off base, or maybe we'll be right. And if it's a filler episode tomorrow, then no one's right, and no one's.
We could be making 2 weeks prior predictions because we know that they're going to make this finale pretty badass. So, we could just be looking in their crystal ball too soon. I don't know. But regardless, to be fair, I don't think any of these predictions can be too outlandish, given that nobody knows where this is going to go. They've kind of surprised us in a couple different ways. So we'll just have to see how close we get. If we're on the money, completely off. I don't know. That's part of the fun of this.
Yep.
So until next week, we will see you guys later. So have a great week.
See ya.